Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Serrano, thank you so much for your time.
Hi, good evening, Pinky. It's a pleasure always.
We start with this. It was a vote of 38, finding probable cause to impeach you and 2 against. What did you think about that vote?
Well, at last, they made the decision, because what I think is that they have dragged this case long enough, and I have always made a call that if they have any basis to find probable cause, they should forthwith send it to the Senate.
Was this the kind of vote you expected, the 38 and 2?
I haven't really been keeping track of the numbers, but I know from the beginning that the numbers were not in my favor, and that had been repeated so many times, countless times, in fact, by the leadership of the House. So it's not unexpected.
How would you describe it was about 15 hearings, maybe a little more than 4 months at the House Justice Committee. How would you describe those hearings?
Well, I think the people know that first, I did submit a verified answer, and it was a pretty exhaustive verified answer to all the allegations. Now, the primary consideration for us was how we will be able to participate in the hearings. Early on, we said that I have so much work to do at the court. I cannot be there every day. Of course, I have the right to be represented by counsel, and it was denied me. We were not able to confront, clarify, question, cross-examine any of the resource persons or witnesses, if you may say. No, not even when the complainant himself, Mr. Gadon, kept on showing that he had absolutely no knowledge of the things that he was alleging. There were already serious perjuries being committed, but still there was no stop to the proceedings going on. So what do you have now? You're basically banking on being able to present your side before the Senate trial.
How do you describe that? That hearing, those hearings rather, those past 4 months?
They have proven nothing. Sinabi ko nga kanina, saksakang hirap na ginawa nila, pahirap sa maraming tao, nangyari pala, wala rin lang palang nahanap. O, sinimulan nila, wakasin na nila, dalhin na nila sa Senado. Yun ang panawagan ko.
Yun din po yung sinasabi ng mga tagapagsalita nyo, Chief Justice, na idiretso na to sa Senado. But very telling for some, ma'am, is the fact that some justices of the Supreme Court showed up during the House Justice Committee hearing. When they showed up, were you offended by that?
I think what people should understand about me is that my feelings are not that important. You see, I have a job to do and to ensure that justice is delivered to the people. Now, in the course of anybody's work, even your work, you will get instances when you feel someone has wrongly accused you. And then when you focus on the job, you set that aside. So I focus on the job, I set those things aside, and I just keep on saying that, well, I'll have the chance to be able to explain the merits of what I had been doing at the court. And I will let the people judge me on the basis of my record in the Supreme Court.
When you have an Associate Justice De Castro saying, hanggang kailan kami magtitiis, what does that say, or how does that make you feel?
I think some of their questions are rhetorical or questions that they themselves can answer. So let's leave it at that, Pinky.
Talagang ayaw mo is this something na hindi nyo po, you don't want to react to?
Hindi man kailangan eh. So kung hindi kailangan na reaction, Pinky, why spend energy on that?
Psychiatric test, ma'am. Today, they voted at the House Justice Committee to declassify this psychiatric test. How does that make you feel?
If that is their vote, I have to look at the merits of the idea that they have. What is behind it? What do they call confidential or not? In any case, Pinky, when we get to the Senate, that can easily be debunked. You know, the Psychological Association of the Philippines, a group of psychologists, they issued a strong statement already explaining the utter lack of basis for the testimonies that were given in the House, supposedly trying to analyze me, made by someone who's never met me.
That expert na nagsalita po.
That throws the whole question of expertise open, no?
Pero pag pinag-uusapan na po yung test nyo about yung pag-uugali ninyo, how far can anyone go in terms of trying to, reveal that?
Ang tingin ko, we have to give occasion to the legal community to weigh in on that, because you have privacy rights, you have the right of the Judicial and Bar Council, you have the right of whether there will be a misuse of these testing tools, and then you have the question about the political motives behind all of this. This seems to tie together to point to a desired outcome, regardless of the evidence, regardless of the basis. The outcome seems to be pretty predetermined.
But to declassify it, is this something you plan to oppose if you can, or your legal team?
No, I will leave it to my lawyers to decide on that. They are still weighing the final stance to make on the matter.
So, wala pa. There's no decision on this just yet.
Hintayin natin silang magsabi kung anong gusto nila.
Is there an initial, though, Chief Justice, that they said that kung pwede itong gamitin o hindi? Kasi marami na pong salitang mga lumalabas. Meron po si Congressman Ray O'Malley was saying that you have mood swings or narcissist, yung mga ganun pong mga pananalita.
Alam mo, ang maganda, nung nanood yung mga tao sa House hearings, nakita nila kung sino ang mga may mood swings at kung sino ang may narcissistic tendency, no? So, actually, hindi ako nanonood, no? Pero marami akong kwentong naririnig.
Sino ho daw yun?
Ay, hindi ko na alam po. Kasi hindi nga ako nanonood eh.
Okay.
Mga kwento-kwento lang. Baka magkamali pa ako sa pagturo kung sino.
All right. One of the, some say, Chief Justice, one of the strong arguments to impeach you, the stronger ones, would be your non-submission of your SAL-M.
Ang maganda po yan. Kasi sa Senado, lalabas po lahat yan eh. Ang maganda, hindi ho natin i-preempt kung ano mangyayari sa Senado. Yan, maghintay ang taong bayan. Ang sabi ko naman eh, idadalhin ko ang kaso ko sa taong bayan. Malalaman naman nila lahat eh. Maghintay na lang ho. Sandali na lang yan.
No, pero that's also what Attorney Jojo Lacanila was saying when I asked him a couple of days ago, ma'am. But once and for all, can you answer that? Did you submit your SAL-Ns?
We will have to wait for that to really be fully laid out in the Senate. Maganda po yan.
So
Maganda
itatago muna kung anong defense nyo dito.
Maganda pong maghintay ng kaunti.
And
Kaunti lang po.
And you think you'll have a good enough defense
yeah.
on this? Wala ho bang kahit na teaser kung anong posibleng defense mo dito sa 10 years na SAL-N?
Alam nyo, maraming maling nasabi. Eh, gusto naman namin mag-participate. Ayaw nila kami ipa-participate. O sige, kayo na lang muna. You have your day, we will have our day.
Sabi nung iba, Chief Justice, yung pong 10-year submission ng SAL-N is a rule at the JBC at wala naman daw sa
Huwag
Constitution.
na nating pag-usapan yan.
Okay. All right. Because of that, though, meron naman pong co-warrant to petition before the Supreme Court.
Yan naman ang hindi ko talaga pwedeng pag-usapan. So, medyo hintay na lang po natin kung ano mangyayari sa proceedings na yon.
Okay.
So, for now, medyo hold back tayo dun sa topic na yon.
I don't know if you can answer this, though, but ako personally, ang tanong ko, when Attorney Tess said, without giving it due course, but to have you comment in 10 days, tanggalin po natin yung, kung ayaw niyo po pag-usapan yung co-warrant. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng without taking due course, pero pinagko-comment po ang isang individual?
Normal yan. Marami kaming ganyang petition. Para lang ibig sabihin naman talaga yung, in most cases, walang ibig sabihin yon kasi hindi pa pre-judge, no? Pero hayaan niyo po yung mga lawyers na ang magsabi. Kasi mahirap naman hong pangunahan ko sila. Ginagawa pa ho nilang sagot eh.
So, bilang punong mahistrado, kapag sinabi pong without giving due course, pero pinagko-comment, ang tanong ko po, tinanggap na ho ba yun ng Korte Suprema or that's just, hindi po ibig sabihin ng tinanggap na yun?
Marami ho kaming laging ginagamit na without due course. At marami ho kaming dinidismiss na nagsimula sa without giving due course pero pinagko-comment.
So, it doesn't mean that the Supreme Court is
doesn't-
accepting jurisdiction over this?
Ang usual tradition po namin, walang ibig sabihin po yun.
Okay. Again, I know that, maisingit ko lang po ito, kasi isa din po in my mind is, if they take cognizance of this, for example, and they think that your assumption to the Chief Justice is invalid, saan ho ba pwedeng tumakbo pa? Meron pa ho bang posibleng takbuhan ang Chief Justice sakaling mangyari ito?
Hayaan nyo naman magtrabaho yung aking mga abogado.
Parang-
Medyo kulang siguro ng Masandali na lang yung panahon eh. Hayaan
Okay.
natin silang magsalita.
I understand that this is something you don't really want to delve into.
Preempt,
Yeah, preempt.
actually, no?
But of course, kanina po, sinasabi naman din po sa Constitution that impeachment is the only way. However, during this, marami ho kasi in the legal circle nagtatanong kung tatanggapin to ng Korte Suprema. So, okay, they said to comment. However, there is one Justice Marvic Leonen, who said that this should have been outrightly dismissed. Sa aking pong pagtatanong, malapit daw dapat kayo ni Justice Marvic Leonen. How is your relationship with him now amid all these reports, unverified at that, about yung kanyang participation sa inyong indefinite leave of absence?
I have already paid a huge cost for consistently standing on what I believe in. Every person has to be responsible for her actions, his or her actions. Right now, Pinky, I'm just focusing on my defense.
Do you feel somehow, though, that because of that 13 justices consensus on your indefinite leave, do you feel that you're betrayed?
Mahirap pag-usapan yung issue ng betrayal, no? Kasi somehow in a situation where you discuss things, you understand that there can be a better path. So let's not address that question. That's for now, it's a non-issue, that particular statement, and your attempt to relate it to the concept of betrayal. It's right now, it's not an issue for me.
It's not, hindi po, it doesn't affect you.
No, it does not affect me.
If 13 justices ask you, here's what I want to find out, to go on an indefinite leave, ma'am, does that mean that they want you out of the Supreme Court? Ganun ho ba
I
ang
don't
ibig
read
sabihin?
anything into that. Other than that, I had agreed to an indefinite leave, no? So I had agreed to it. So let's put it that way.
Okay, once and for all, the story behind that, I'd like to hear it from you. I hope you don't mind, Chief Justice. Ano ho ba nangyari doon? Were you forced? Was it a consensus? Did you agree? Napilitan ho ba kayo? How would you, kayo na pong magsabi ng storya sa amin?
Kasi ang tradition namin talaga, yung mga pinag-uusapan namin, that remains, that has to stay there, behind closed doors, no? So let's preserve it let's preserve the situation at that, no? Let's leave it at that muna.
You were at the Philippine Women's Judges Association a
Yeah.
while ago, and sabi po ng iba, this was one of your strongest speeches.
I
Ano
think-
ho
I
bang,
think,
what was running in your mind when nagsasalita ho kayo?
No, I
when you
had
gave
to
that speech?
clarify that this fight is larger than me. It's not about me, ultimately. It has to do with judicial independence. When you see our judges, and our judges are on the front line every day. They get harassed, they get bullied, they receive threats. You know, sometimes the support of the local governments for some of their wherewithals are even cut off. So on behalf of all the judges who are similarly situated as I am, I will have to fight and to continue to fight, Pinky, because this is a very important issue. What is judicial independence? How do you make the political branches respect judicial independence? That, to me, is the core of my role as the Chief Justice, and I have to defend our judges.
Did you think that aabot ho kayo sa ganito? Did you, in your wildest imagination, did you think this was going to happen to you?
Many things in my life I really do not plan for. So I take one day as it comes. I know that there is always a cost for fighting for your convictions. And that is true for everybody. Even you would have gone through such situations also. And when you strongly believe in something, you fight for it, and you know that there will be a pushback from some quarters.
I need to talk about what happened a while ago, because sabi nga ng iba, it was your strongest speech at the Philippine Women Judges Association. You talked about, your impeachment, that's the course to take out or remove a sitting Chief Justice. Associate Justice Teresita de Castro was not too happy with that. In fact, she said she's sorry that you had to bring this up. It's sub judice. Naramdaman niyo ho ba yung tension sa pagitan ninyong dalawa kanina?
Ang importante kasi malaman ng taong bayan. When you talk about impeachment, there are two aspects to it. One is the legal side, but the stronger side is actually the political side. Now, in any political fight, because they keep on saying it's political, legal / judicial, no? In any political fight, the arena is really public opinion. And then you have to respect the right of a person accused in a political arena. You have to respect the right of that person to respond and speak. Otherwise, anyone who is being impeached cannot speak and cannot explain to the public her position. That's really, I don't think that's right at all.
Nagulat ho ba kayo na nagsalita si Justice De Castro ng ganoon?
Ang sasabihin ko na lang sa inyo ganito, everyone is entitled to her opinion. That's her opinion, so that's her opinion. I leave it at that.
Were you surprised that, right after your speech, she had said something to that
Marami
effect?
ng bagay sa buhay na hindi na nakakagulat sa akin.
So it seems like when I'm speaking to you, you take everything with a grain of salt, ma'am. Parang,
Well, kasi kailangan mo, Pinky, in a situation where you stand for strong principles, you must be ready to take the punches. If there are body blows, there are body blows. And you learn to get up after each attempt to knock you out. You still persist. You stand, you fight, and then you never give up.
hindi ho ba kayo napapagod?
Lahat ng tao napapagod, Pinky. Lahat ng tao nakakaramdam ng emosyon. Pero ang tanong is, saan ba nakafocus ang mata mo? Ako nakafocus lang yan talaga sa delivery of justice and judicial independence. Ang lalakas na ng mga political branches, tapos mahina ang judiciary. Paano na lang ang konstitusyon? Paano na lang ang karapatan ng mga tao? Di ang hina-hina na, wala nang tatakbuhan ng mga tao kung manghihina kami.
Don't you feel that you seem to be alone in this fight for judicial independence when 13 others asked you to go on an indefinite leave, ma'am?
But that was not a statement about judicial independence, huh? I think that was just an administrative matter. So hindi natin ipagsama yan. Let's not mix up the whole thing, no? Because eventually a agreement was reached, a consensus was arrived at. So let's leave it at that. It's an administrative matter. So I don't want to blow it out of proportion. Life goes on. The work goes on.
Your team has said that there's this grand conspiracy to oust you. Who is behind this?
Your guess is as good as mine, Pinky. I think we have to ask some important questions because there are always disclaimers, no? The President keeps on disclaiming any knowledge or participation about this whole thing. Then we have to ask where Kalida's actions are coming from. Maybe the people themselves who should be asking those questions. As for me, if they say he has nothing to do with it, so he has said he has nothing to do with it. So
I think the question is, do you believe it?
well, some of my thoughts must remain private, Pinky. So let's not probe into that.
All right. Okay. I wanted to find out this. Given two scenarios, where do you think you will be able to defend yourself better? The Senate with a full-blown trial, or before the Supreme Court on this quo warranto? status quo, rather.
From the very beginning, we were looking really at the impeachment provisions of the Constitution. So that has been the preparation all along. Now, I haven't yet assessed this latest co-warranto petition. Not yet time, maybe.
Pero ang sinasabi po ng Liberal Party, they came out with a statement that accepting this by the Supreme Court looking into this, they are actually courting a possible constitutional crisis. Can you answer that? Is it a constitutional crisis? Could it be a constitutional crisis?
Maybe they know more than I do. No, in this matter, they are the senators. They believe that they have the exclusive power to try me. So I think that's where they're coming from.
So if it's the Senate, where are you in terms of preparation at the Senate?
Quite advanced, really. Quite advanced.
If it's advanced, do you have part
Ready
of...
to go.
Who's part of your legal team?
Well, the legal team is led by Attorney Alex Poblador. So in due time, he will be introducing the rest of the team.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel that you have a fighting chance at the Senate?
Everyone has a fighting chance. Especially when you stand on the truth, you have more than a fighting chance.
Because of all that's happened to you, do you sometimes regret being appointed as Chief Justice?
No. No, you don't regret things in life. No, most of things in our life are not really pre-planned by us. Not even by you, Pinky, no matter how assiduously you try to do things the correct way. Many things are surprising to you. So you don't pre-plan these things and you don't regret these things, but you do the best in whatever position you are put in, so you just give it your level best.
So it's still all worth it for you?
Yes. The fact that I am able to say to our judges, stand tall, stand proud. You have a lot to be proud of. Your work, largely unheralded in the public eye. Now we have the occasion and we have the opportunity to talk about our judges now. And part of my advocacy is to educate the public about the unseen and unheralded judges who are doing a lot to stabilize this country.
If in the event that you overcome the impeachment trial or the co-warranto, meron pong nag-iisip kung paano ho kaya ang inyong magiging relationship with your co-justices.
Marami namang instances sa history, Pinky, na ang isang pinuno ng isang institusyon mawawala muna sa eksena, tas makakabalik, and the organization is able to regenerate itself. Bonds can be renewed, friendships can be broken, hurts can be healed, the movement to go forward can be pushed. All in good time, all if there is enough goodwill. It can be done. I am more than confident it can be done.
So, is it almost tantamount to saying that you will, in the event, forgive and forget? Ganun di ba?
I have not actually borne any grudge against anybody. No, there is no point. There is no point in harboring ill will. Why? Will it diminish you as a person if somebody says bad things about you? It doesn't. You know yourself. If you know yourself, why should you be bothered too much if something says an untrue thing about you? So all of these can actually be set aside. And when you are focused on the bigger picture, and then when you enjoy the thought that all of you will be together in this journey, everything is possible.
No ill feelings even on the complainant, Attorney Larry Gadon? Do you know him?
I don't even know him. So I don't even know him. Sometimes I laugh at the thought that I haven't ever met the guy, and he has said so many things that I have done when I haven't ever seen him. He's never there in the deliberation, so he must be a ghost, probably, meandering about the halls of of the Supreme Court. So not even him, but he has his accountabilities, because remember, he has already made a lot of perjurious statements.
And what do you plan to do with
I'm
Attorney Larry
I'm not yet
Gadon?
in the planning stage.
Because?
I'm too busy. There are just so many issues I have to address.
In the complaint against you of Attorney Larry Gadon, ma'am, which do you think you really need to defend yourself on? Ano ho doon sa kanyang mga reklamo ang palagay nyo talagang kailangan yung linawin sa publiko?
Ang kailangan talagang linawin, no?
Linawin?
Ay ang konsepto ng impeachable offense. Sa dinami-dami niyang sinalaysay na nagawa ko daw, alin doon po ba yung karumal-dumal na ginawa kong kasalanan sa bayan? It must be a harvest of sins. Just imagine, treason, bribery, high
Other high
crimes,
crimes.
culpable violation, yung makasalanang paglalabag sa konstitusyon, ha? At pagtataksil sa bayan. Eh, ano bang nagawa ko? Sa dinami-dami nun, ano? In fact, some of my moves, if there is a shred of truth about them, speak of my strong commitment to judicial independence. I will do everything I can to defend our judges.
Your family, how is your family taking this, ma'am? I hear almost nothing about it.
Well, our family has prepared really for a long and arduous road for me as Chief Justice, because there is so much work still to do in our democracy. It's a work in progress, and the judicial part of it is very much incomplete. So we went through this knowing that there would be so many difficulties ahead. And so far, they've managed to maintain a sense of equanimity about things.
How would you describe your stint so far as Chief Justice?
Well, it's been very productive. This is the most productive court ever in terms of output and quality reform measures. We have reached out to the people. Never before have we reached out to the people as we have now. We are going on a high-tech mode. If we are able to succeed, we will be the first major agency in government to have nationwide connectivity and nationwide automation. So there are so many building blocks that we still need to put together to put the whole thing together. And we should not be spending too much time actually on things that do not matter. What matters most is Mang Juan, si Aling Petra. Tulungan natin sila, yung taong bayan, yung naghihikahos na pamilya, tapos nasasakdal sila. Paano ba natin pabibilisan para hindi nila iniisip na iniipit din sila ng hustisya?
How do you feel with Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio taking over the helm while you're on indefinite leave?
Justice Carpio has such a significant body of work, and his record speaks for himself. So I think we should all acknowledge that fact.
Kailan ho kaya kayo babalik sa Korte Suprema? Kailan ho kayo babalik as Chief Justice from your leave?
Sana malaman ko na kung kailan ba magsisimula yung trial sa Senado para masabi ko sa iyo kung kailan.
Okay, but ipalagay niyo ho ba in the middle of the trial or at the end of the trial at the Senate, ma'am?
Depende na yan talaga kung gaano kalaki ang preparasyon na nagawa namin. Kasi hindi ko pa nga nababasa yung articles of impeachment eh. So kailangan natin muna pag-aralan yung articles of impeachment, tapos titingnan natin gaano kadami bang kailangan pang trabaho, and then mag-aalat ka na ng oras.
What is the one thing, incident, or situation that will make you consider resigning?
Wala.
Nothing at all.
Wala.
Are you confident you will overcome the Senate trial or your quo warranto petition, ma'am?
The truth is on my side. I think that the most important thing is we fight for that. I don't count the odds too much, Pinky, because if you think about impeachment being largely a political give and take, then anything can happen, right? So what is important is you are ready to state the truth before the people.
At hindi po sumagi sa inyong isipan na I'll throw in the towel para tapos na itong lahat, tama na?
Kailangan talaga ng mga naninindigan sa bayan na ito. Hindi po ako susuko sa laban na ito.
Chief Justice, again, maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Maraming salamat, Pinky. Thank you so
ma'am.
much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.